Alright, welcome back. So I hope you guys enjoyed the videos from yesterday. And today I hope you guys have fun on your virtual tour to the amusement park. Our story today, we have two stories, but the first one is called Brave Lion, Scared Lion. And I know because I'm not a huge fan of like roller coasters and whatnot. I like the water parks more. But so yeah, it's a good story because sometimes you gotta be brave in doing some things. So let's get into it. On a faraway plain near a cool water hole lived twin lion cubs. Their names were Jake and Jasper. And so there's Jake and Jasper. As they grew, the brothers would wander to the waterhole and admire their reflections. "What a brave lion I am," cried Jake, as he growled and prowled with pride. So there they are looking at their reflections, and there's Jake wandering about, all tall and mighty. But Jasper kept quiet, because Jasper was timid and shy. And sometimes he felt scared. He felt scared when Jake chased him up a tree, and then he looked down. He felt scared if Great Uncle Jiggly Jowls bellowed when Jake bit his tail. So he is hiding in a tree, and there's his great uncle growling at him after he bit his tail. And Jasper shivered when Mom took them down to the river and warned them about crocodiles. "I wish I could be brave like Jake," sighed Jasper, but Mom was always ready with the same reply. "Good heavens, there's more to being brave than showing off." There they are down with the alligators, and there's his mom comforting him. Then she would give Jake a playful push and lick Jasper gently behind the ears. One day, Jake and Jasper set off for the waterhole. "Don't be long," Mom told them, "and stay well away from the river." But when the cubs had drunk and played and admired their reflections, Jake wanted to do something different. Here they are running through the fields. There's a giraffe in the background. "Come on," he called to Jasper. "I'm going to count the crocodiles." By the time they reached the river, Jasper was worn out and worried. Jake was disappointed. "There's not a crocodile in sight," he grumbled, so he decided to show off. Uh-oh. I don't know about you, but I kind of think that something bad might possibly happen. "Don't," pleaded Jasper. "It's dangerous, and it's time to go back." But Jake was already dancing from rock to rock, singing, "What a daring lion I am." Jake was still enjoying himself when a rock by the far bank shifted and stirred. First a pair of eyes appeared, and then a huge mouth. Uh-oh, so look at that. It's dancing on the rocks, and then there's a crocodile's mouth. "Watch out," cried Jasper. "It's a crocodile." Jake froze in his tracks. He was too terrified to move a paw, because suddenly every rock looked like a crocodile to Jake. Uh-oh, so look at that. He wasn't being careful, and now he's trapped. Jasper was terrified too, but he leapt to Jake's side and tugged at his tail. The tug brought Jake back to his senses, and with a squeal, he hid behind Jasper. There he is, tugging his tail. There he is, hiding behind Jasper. So, he was always acting all brave, and Jasper was kind of the shyer one. And now look, he's hiding behind him. Just at that moment, Mom arrived on the bank with Great Uncle Jiggly Jowls. "What a brave lion you are," bellowed Great Uncle Jiggly Jowls as Jasper led Jake to safety. "And what a naughty lion you are," Mom told Jake. There he is getting yelled at, and there he is getting praised from his great uncle. All the way home, Mom was angry because she'd been anxious. Later on, at supper, Mom was not quite so angry, but at bedtime she spoke sternly to Jake. Now, what have you learned today? And they are walking home, and there's an elephant in the fields, and there she is talking to him. Not to play by the river, and there's more to being brave than showing off, mumbled Jake. Exactly, said Mom, and then she tried to explain. We all get scared sometimes, and it takes a really brave lion to overcome his fears and act with courage. Jasper wriggled with embarrassment. And there they are getting talked to. I wonder if she'll still be angry tomorrow, thought Jake sleepily. But as the sun went down, Mom licked Jake gently behind the ears. She gave Jasper a playful push. And there she is with both of them. And when the cubs snuggled closer, she said exactly the same thing to each of them. What a special lion you are. There they both are. So that's the first story. And then the second one is also about lions, and it's called The Lion Inside. In a dry, dusty place where the sand sparkled gold stood a muddy flat rock, all craggy and old. And under that rock, in a tiny full house, lived the littlest, quietest, meekest brown mouse. So there's the rock, and then there's the little house, and then there's the little mouse right there. He was so very tiny, so incredibly small, that nobody noticed him ever at all. He got stepped on and sat on, he missed out on stuff, ignored and forgotten. His mouse life was tough. Aww. So there he is in the tall grass. Can't even see him, but he's trying to say hello. And over here, oh, he's getting sat on and stepped on, and no one hears him. Meanwhile, far above, on top of the rock, times were quite different. It was Lion O'Clock. This huge, toothy creature made sure everyone saw how important he was by how loud he could. And so there he is sitting on the rock, and there he's about to announce to everyone something. Roar! And there he is, roaring, so everyone knows that he's there. He was head of the pack. He was shouty and proud. He loved flexing his biceps and wowing the crowd. Yes, all were impressed by this mighty King Cat. If only, thought Mouse, I could be more like that. And so there he is. Oh, look at that. He's lifting a hippopotamus. He's yelling at everyone. And he's just showing off. Then, late one dark night, in his tiny mouse bed, the cleverest thought popped into his head. He leaped up in the darkness and held up a paw. I've got it, he said. What I need is a roar. I mean, what if this mouse, with the weeniest squeak, were a little more grrr and a little less meek? Well, he'd still be the smallest of fuzzy brown mice, but he'd make friends and join in, and life would be nice. And so there he is thinking, and there he's just imagining everyone seeing him. Yes, thought the mouse, I must find out how. I will learn how to roar, and I will learn it now. But it wouldn't be easy. There was only one beast who could teach him this thing, but might make him a feast. It was time to be strong, take a chance. After all, forever was such a long time to feel small. And there he is dreaming about if the lion would eat him instead of try to help him. So he made himself brave, and he thought like a winner. He set off for the top, hoping not to be dinner. It felt like the scariest thing he could do, but if you want things to change, you first have to change you. And there he is, setting off on his journey. The farther he climbed, the closer he got to the slumbering lion reclining on top. At last, as he stood on his tippy toes, he found himself suddenly nose to... And there he is, climbing up the rocks. And there he is, looking. Nose. Ahem. Gulp. Pardon me. Wake up, Mr. Lion. You've got company. Squeak. Mr. Lion, what I've come to you for is, Squeak, do you think you could teach me your roar? And so there he is. Look at how small he is compared to the giant lion. And do you think the lion's going to teach him how to roar? A silence befell that twinkling plain. Lion opened his eyes and puffed out his mane. Time went so slowly, it felt like a week. Then he opened his mouth and let out a... And there he is, face to face with the lion. He must be really scared, because he's only a small little mouse. Eek! Oh no, so looks like the lion might almost be afraid of the mouse if he's screaming like that. The lion curled up in a terrified ball. He didn't like this, not one bit at all. Don't hurt me, he whimpered. Oh, try to be nice. Well, this mighty great lion was frightened of mice. Don't worry, Mouse peeped. I'm here as a friend. Let's hang out together, be pals to the end. So look at that. The lion's afraid of this little guy, and he just wants to be friends with him. That was a magical moment for sure, when the mouse didn't feel at all small anymore. He had found his true voice and learned to speak out. And for that, you don't need to roar or to shout. And from that day and always, the two were a pair. They both liked that rock better, now that the rock was to share. The mouse, while still little, felt big in his head, and lion, he still roared, but with laughter instead. Oh, so look at that. There they are being friends, and there he is laughing. Yes, that day they both learned that no matter your size, we all have a mouse and a lion inside. So there they are looking at the sun setting. So that's the end of that one. So I hope you guys enjoyed those stories today, and I can't wait to read you some stories again tomorrow on Friday. All right, see ya.